Hello everyone, good evening. I think by now it's been very while that we all interacted. So today I'm here not for any major discussion or imperative things or any crucial things which is revolving around the world, what is going to happen to the Green Line or what Donald Trump is going to do. But today I'm here to tell you about my very personal life story. I felt of sharing because since everyone on Instagram is now evolving around the trend, like back to the age of 2016, 10 years down the line, what happened. So in a very similar way, my 2016 was also filled not in a normal way, how my entire life was not in a very normal sense as it is to the other people. So from last 10 years I've been experiencing failures and I've been very proud of it. From 2016, where I was not even eligible to get into a medical college because I did not do well in my entrance exam, because I was neither interested in physics nor in chemistry, but my curiosity, my intellectual intelligence was totally different towards humanities, because to me understanding the societal pulse and getting a social reform was my major intention, and not pleasing the society. But however, maybe 2016, somewhere I was around 17 or 18 years old. So at that time, I had to bow down to my family, to the societal benevolency, etc., etc. Then I took a drop. So when I took a drop, the way the world started looking at me itself was very different. Because I was very academically strong till my school days, and then post my SSLC, the French Revolution, Russian Revolution, and other things inspired me in a very different way. And looking at the society from the very empirical way, I was a person who never sat at the home. To me, going to post office, going to bank was a routine part of my life. So looking at the difficulties which people was going through the society, I always had a concern that maybe not maybe something has to be changed even from us. And so that's why I decided that my further pursuance in academics or in anything of my life will be towards getting a social change, towards a social norm. But however, as you all know, the middle class family mentality that the son or daughter has to get into medical sciences, more than a compulsion, it becomes a pride. So when I took a drop, the way the public started looking at me was totally different. So that was my first failure. From 2016 to 2025, I've been experiencing a lot of failures. I was very ashamed of the failure in back in 2016 when I failed. But now, after successive failures, I have become so much motivated by failures that I consider failure as my missus, and success is just, I don't even consider success as anything big in life. Because what I have realized is that it is easy to accept success and it is easy to celebrate the grandiousness and the graciousness which success gives you. But when you fail in your life, that courage even to accept the fact that you have failed, to have that fortitude to endorse the failures and to fight back the failures, not everybody will have this. And so in this 10 years, what I realized is that more than a successful person, a person who have experienced failure, he is very imperative, and he is the strength. And resilience lies not in celebrating the success, but in accepting the fact that you have failed somewhere in life, and you start endorsing it and you start enduring it. So from 2025, where I dropped the idea of joining MD General Medicine and I took up MA Political Science. So this 10 years, it has been a series of failures. I failed in my first year MBBS, I failed in my second year MBBS, my third year MBBS, though I passed by margin, I had to experience some personal failures. And the major setback in my life was when I failed in my final year MBBS. Like, I failed both my supplementary examination as well as my annual examination. I just failed by 2 marks. So this year was the major landmark as well as a setback in my life. I was at a very lowest point in my life when I failed in my final year, because all my friends were passed and they were posting their internship diaries, but then I was sitting all alone inside the four walls, and I was cursing God that why is that you have been giving failures to me from the last 10 years. But what followed is that after 2 to 3 months, I started coming out of the home. And though society always questioned me, oh, you're failed in your final year, final, etc., etc., you could not become a doctor, I started realizing that the strength lies within us. I started reading books. I came out of the home. I faced the society. I said that, yes, I have failed. What's it? Some 4 5 months down the line, I passed in my final year, and when I passed in my final year, I did not celebrate. what I realized was that what this failures taught me, not even 100 success would have taught me. That one failure taught me what life is, what actually the reality of life is. So what I wanted to convey you all is that I am not that a mentorship, or I am not a big person or a very great person to tell you all. But with this own experience in my life, what I have realized is that failure teaches us a lot of things. Success is just a merry time. One failure teaches you so much of lessons that even 100 success cannot teach you. So in those 4 years, especially when I failed in my final year, they were all alongside few of my friends. We went to court, facing facing difficulties in front of the god, or facing some hospital course, or uh, even you being at the death. But all this is acceptable, that no, you'll be knowing what the final decision is, whether it's yes or no. But facing the things in the courtroom wall, that is the greatest pain which one person can ever experience. People say that in the hospital that you feel the pain. No, 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 in the hospital bed, of course you'll feel the pain, but at least you'll have an idea that whether one person is gonna live or is gonna die. But in the courtroom, every minute, every second is an hurdle. You will be mentally tortured, you will be mentally drained. So when I failed in my final year, I was physically down because of the courtroom course. I was emotionally down. So this was the lowest phase of my life. And then I thought that okay, I am done, and so I'm not gonna excel again in my life. But it was in this phase that I started reading a lot of books. I started getting connected myself with Mother Nature. I started leading a organic life. So this, especially counting from my final year to these years, my life has been into failures. But then there were certain books, there were certain habits which made me to substantiate over all these things. And I wish to convey you all about the books that helped me and the habits that changed me. So since it's been 10 years of me celebrating the failure, and I'm very happy of it, I feel proud of my failures. And maybe in this 10 years there were one or two success, and I definitely don't consider getting into medical college as my biggest success in my life. No, that happens to everybody, man, and I don't consider that as a big successful, or even me getting into MD general medicine, in case even if I write the exam, I don't consider this as a success at all. To me, success means whatever I do, nobody would have ever done, and it will be very difficult for the other person to do. Even constructing or building an hospital with my hereditary property, I don't consider it as a success. To me, success means somebody should give some hundreds thought to even reach that level, and that is what I consider success as. So keeping aside the success which other people consider it as success, and I don't consider it as success, but however, it is left to the subjective things, it is left to one's own perception. So speaking about the failures, so this 10 years from 2016 to 2026, more than success, more than family, more than anybody, failures has taught me a lot of things. And I'm very proud of the failures, because when I look back to 2016, when I experienced my first failure, until 2026, I have gained a momentum of resilience and strength in my life. I now generally don't get downtrodden to somebody who posts something in social media very stimulating. No, because my failures have changed me a lot. They have built in courage in me, they have built in resilience in me. And now I'm very happily celebrating my decadal failures. So with empirical experience, I can say you all is that whenever you face failure in your life, come out of the room, face the society. This society is temporal, your emotions are temporal. But what decision you take when you fail, that okay, I'm going to change, I'm going to bring in a habit which will be imperative, and that is what matters. So I wish to convey you all, or I wish to post in the social media the books that helped me and the habits that helped me to substantiate over failures. I'm posting here not for any catfishing or any mercy. I don't even need your mercy. But looking at the in the recent society, I feel that most of them are into mental trauma, most of them are into mental depression, most of them are into anxiety. I see most of my medical fraternity friends, just because they did not get a clinical seat and they are downtrodden. No, that itself is not life, right? There are people who are still surviving with a merit degree. So it is only as a concern, it is to help my mutual human beings, that I wish to post about the books or the other things which helped me to substantiate the failures and to overcome the mental trauma. Uh, if you people are interested, you can watch it. And I don't want any mercy or concern towards me. It is only with care, with humanity, and with when I failed in my final year, it was then I decided that maybe sooner or later in my life that I wish to open a community where we all, I don't mind whether we are 100 people or even if I am all alone. Even individually, I wanted to help people who are facing mental trauma, depression, anxiety, etc. etc. So today I wanted to give an impetus, a fillip to help the the co-human beings. Thank you. Again and again, I don't want any mercy. It is only that we all, if you are interested, will build a community wherein we will help the other human beings in combating failures, mental anxiety, depression, etc. etc. Thank you.